Can this entire video just be depressed sighs? A Week of Garfield is one of the most infamously bad Famicom games out there. Or at least in the US, it's one of the most infamously bad Famicom games out there. In Japan, it's barely known at all. I found fans of kusoge, or crap games, complaining that Garfield no Isshuukan wasn't as well known as games like City Adventure Touch or Akira. Maybe it's that Garfield is more of a cultural icon in the United States, so people outside of Japan were more likely to stumble onto it and learn the true depths of pain. Garfield, of course, is a long-running comic about a fat orange cat with black stripes, and he has unusual appetites. In A Week of Garfield, Garfield's dog buddy Odie has taken off, and Garfield takes an entire week to find him. I guess technically you could describe A Week of Garfield as an action platformer. You move to the right, jump on top of things, attack enemies, and if you make it all the way to the right, then you advance to the next stage. And that is all as normal as A Week of Garfield gets. Everything else is just a bad idea. For example, how many stages should a game called A Week of Garfield have? If you answered 7, well, you're wrong. A Week of Garfield has 9 distinct stages, and each stage is divided into thirds. Complete the 3 segments and you'll meet John and advance to the next day. But Saturday and Sunday occur twice. If your feet pass over the correct place as you're playing through the game, then an icon will appear. And note that I said feet, not head. That will become a big problem in a little while. But just because the icon appears doesn't mean that you can pick it up. You have to move off of the icon and then move back onto it to collect it. Coffee and milk will refill your life bar. Garfield starts out with nearly no health, and collecting these will give you the biggest boost. Some of the weapon pickups will also increase your health, but it's very slight. The fishbone, on the other hand, drains some of your health away. However, there's no underflow protection on that, and so if you have the absolute minimum health and collect a fishbone, you go to maximum health. The real trick there is getting to minimum health. You see, you take damage every frame that you are in contact with an enemy in A Week of Garfield. There's no knockback, and enemies keep traveling toward you. So making contact with an enemy, even briefly, is likely to be fatal. Your health just melts away in the blink of an eye. Also, beware of the fleas. When they hit you, they stun you for a few seconds as you itch. And in some positions, that will let the flea hit you again. But you can fight back against these enemies. Kind of. Garfield has 4 attacks, and for 3 of them, it requires that he collects special ammunition. His basic attack is this kick. Right here, this is the kick. This animation that you are looking at right now is the kick. And here's the jump kick. They didn't even put in an animation for the jump kick. And that's kind of ironic, since really the only effective way to attack with the kick is using a jump kick. You're just too likely to take hits yourself if you stand on the ground and kick someone straight up. So it's better to try to jump on people as you're kicking. As for the special weapons, when I first found a Japanese site going into detail on A Week of Garfield, I thought they made up the names for the special weapons because they didn't know what they were. And then I found a manual and discovered that yes, those really were what the weapons are supposed to be. The first one's easy, it's a bone. You hit select to rotate through the special weapons, and bone is the first one in the list. Bones don't show up until the 3rd stage. The bone just tosses 1 bone out straight in front of you. This will go over the heads of most enemies, or underneath the birds at the height that they fly at when they're attacking you. You can't duck an attack, so the bone is just about worthless as a weapon. Its biggest advantage is that it's not the kick. The next weapon is a pie. No, I don't think the icon looks like a pie either. You toss the pie out in a gentle arc in front of you, and then it explodes on the floor, releasing shards that go up into the air. You know, just like a pie would. This is by far the most effective weapon. Since a lot of enemies take multiple hits to kill, the pie can hit them once with its arc, and then hit them again with the explosion. The final weapon is cornflakes with raisins. Yes, really. Garfield doesn't like the raisins, so he spits them out in a three-way shot. It's better than the bone, but not by that much. The other icons you can collect are shoes that will let you run faster, or you could find this lasagna that's an icon drawn by somebody who has no idea what lasagna is. It makes you invulnerable for a few seconds. You also have to find a key to unlock the door at the end of every stage segment. They can be found before you reach the door, but there's always one at the door itself. However, because your feet actually have to touch an icon to reveal it, the keys hidden up in the air can be really annoying to find. You can jump around and not quite hit the exact right spot to make the key appear. At the end of some of the stages, there's a boss. Sorry that you're only catching a glimpse of them. Nearly every time I reach them, I died instantly. They throw objects at you, and since the objects will get stuck inside Garfield's sprite, it tends to be instantly fatal. You only have one life in A Week of Garfield, but the game automatically continues from the day you left off at. You can also press up, left, and B on the second player controller to cycle through what day you start at. Garfield will get a few more video games, but fortunately, none of them on the Famicom. I don't think I could take another game of this quality right now. A Week of Garfield really is a bottom-of-the-barrel game. Just absolute garbage and completely incompetent, top to bottom. The best thing I can say about A Week of Garfield is that it's memorable.